Hello students. So this is the second part of chapter number 5, sorting materials into group. Now in this video we will discuss about few of rest of the properties of materials. Now the first one is flotation. So flotation is the ability of the material to float on water. Now based on whether a material will float on water or not, they will be classified as materials that float or materials that sink. Now students, materials that float on water, they will be at the surface of the water, which means they are flowing at the surface of the water. For example, wooden piece, cork and plastic and paper also. So these are the examples of the materials that can easily flow on the water. So this is how these huge ships can do not sink in the water and float at the water. Now the second one is materials that sink. Now rocks and metallic materials such as coin, steel spoon are the examples that can sink in the water. Students, you can also perform this small activity at your home. Just take a bowl of water and put a paper on the water. You will see that paper will float on the water, while if you put the spoon on the water, then the spoon will sink in the water. Now the next property of the material is magnetism. Now students, magnetism is the property or ability of some materials to get attracted towards the magnet. For example, iron. Now students, based on whether a material will attract towards the magnet or not, they can be classified as magnetic and non-magnetic materials. Now students, materials made up of iron can get attracted towards the magnet. Thus, they are known as magnetic materials. Other example of magnetic materials are like gold, copper, etc. While non-magnetic materials are the materials that do not attract towards the magnet, and hence they are known as non-magnetic materials. For example, wood, plastic, paper, rubber, etc. Now students, the next property of material is conduction of heat. So conduction of heat is the ability of a material to allow heat to pass through it. Now students, based upon whether the heat will flow in a material or not, the materials are classified as conductors of heat or insulators of heat. Now students, what are conductors of heat? So the materials that allow heat to pass through them are called conductors of heat, which means that materials can be hot. So all the metals are the good conductor of heat. For example, if you can heat iron, then heat will pass through it and it will become hot. Or any material, if you use, then it will heat up or conduct the heat. Now what are insulators of heat? So the materials that do not allow heat to pass through them are called insulators of heat, which means while applying the heat to them, they will not become this much hot. For example, wood, plastic, glass and paper. So this is why students, the utensils which are present at your home like cooker, so in cooker the main portion is of metal while the handles are covered with plastic. So if you touch a hot cooker, then plastic is an insulator of heat. The plastic will not heat up and you can easily pick up the cooker. So this is how it will apply in our daily life. Now the next property is conduction of electricity. Now students, based on whether the current or electricity will flow in a material, they are classified as conductors and insulators. Now in the similar way, the materials that conduct electricity or allow the electricity to pass through them are known as conductors. So most of the metals are the conductors. For example, wire, iron, etc. Now students, what are insulators? So materials that do not conduct electricity or do not allow electricity to pass through them are called insulators. For example, wood, plastic, rubber, glass and paper. Now students, in figure 5.12 there is a common wire in which inside a copper wire is present which can conduct the electricity, while it was covered with the plastic which is the insulator, which means you cannot feel current if it is insulated with plastic. Now students, still yet we have discussed about many properties of the material. Now in addition, there are so many properties which are yet to be discussed, such as color, shape, what the things are made up of, while they are living thing or non-living thing, while they are categorized as plants or animals, and many more. So when you separate and identify a single item or a group of any object which is based upon one or more than one characteristic, then it is called classification. Now, why do we need classification? So, we need classification just because it helps us to organize the object so that we can easily find them. For example, if you have gone to the supermarket or any mall, then you find the similar objects are placed in the one shelf or at a one corner. So, it was easier for you to find the item, the whatever you have the need of that. And the next one is it enables us to make a systematic study of the object. For example, if we want to study about plants, then we study about the plants classification. If we want to study about fibers, clothes, then we will study about fibers, natural and synthetic, which means they are systematic. We will classify them for the systematic study. Now students, in your chapter there is given the classification of the fibers. So in the previous chapter we have already discussed about few of its classifications, such as fibers are categorized in natural fiber and synthetic fiber. Now we get natural fiber from the plants and animal. In plants, I have explained you that we get natural fibers from cotton plant, jute, hemp, flax, coir and silk cotton, while animals we get from wool, like from sheep, goat, yak, camel. These are the animals from which we get the wool, while silk we get from the mulberry silk, tassel, eri, mugga, etc. While synthetic fiber, which means they are prepared chemically, like nylon, polyester and rayon. So this is the particular classification of the fabric, which means we discuss about fibers in these some kind of the topics. Now students, here it is given the summing up of the chapter. Now on the basis of the properties of the material, we classify them in the group. So what are the classifications of the material? So the first one is roughness. So we will define an object whether it is rough or smooth by touching its surface. So rough surface is like bark of the tree, while smooth surface is like mirror. Luster. So luster is a property through which we can see the material is shining or not. For example, gold is a lustrous material, which means it exhibits shining property, while wood is non-lustrous. Now conduction of electricity. Now students, conductors are the material which can conduct the electricity, while insulators are the material which do not conduct electricity. Examples of conductor are like copper, while they of insulator it is plastic. Now conduction of heat. So in the similar way, conductor the material which can conduct the heat, which means pass the heat through them, while insulators are the material which do not allow heat to pass through them. Now example of conductor are like iron, while of insulator is wood. Now what is magnetism? Now students, the attraction of material towards the magnet is known as magnetism. Now the material that can be magnetic, which means which is attracted by the magnet, is iron, while non-magnetic material, which means magnet cannot attract them, and they are like wood, plastic, etc. Now, what is flotation? So, it is the ability of a material to float on the water. Like wood can flow on water, while rock can sink in the water. Now, what is transparency? So, students, the ability to pass the light through any object is known as transparency. So, students, transparent materials are the materials which can allow all the light to pass through them, or you can see the objects which are present behind the transparent material very clearly. For example, clear glass or transparent polythene. While translucent material are the material which allow some light rays to pass through them, and that material and you can see the objects which are present behind the translucent material in a blurred manner. And for example of translucent material is oiled paper or frosted glass, while opaque material are the material which do not allow a single ray of light to pass through them, so that you cannot see any object which was present behind the opaque object, for example wood or wall. Now students, what is solubility in water? So students, the material which can dissolve in water, it is known as, the ability of material to dissolve in water is known as solubility. So what is soluble substances? So students, the solids which dissolve in water are called soluble substances. For example, salt and sugar. While insoluble substances like solids that do not dissolve in water are known as insoluble substances. For example, sand and chalk. Now, what are miscible and immiscible? Now, students, miscible are the liquids that dissolve in water. For example, vinegar or alcohol. And what are immiscible? So, the liquids that do not dissolve in water are called immiscible liquids. For example, petrol or mustard oil. Now, what is the state of the material? Now, the state of material can be solid, liquid, or gases. Now, students, hardness, which means an object whether it is compressed or not. So, hard materials do not compress, you cannot compress iron or silver, while soft material can be compressed easily, for example, sponge. Now students, this is it in this chapter. I hope you get the chapter. Thank you.